So, on the left of your picture, it's Oxford Brookes in the heat of the Prince Albert Challenge Cup for Cox Fours, and on the right it's the crew from Proteus-Eretus in the Netherlands. So this is a student event of Cox Fours, Prince Albert, so you can't quite see them, but there's little Cox lying down in the bows who is steering and giving the orders to these crews. And we'll get a shot there. The Dutchmen are led off. On the left of your picture is their strokeman, Rob van Houten, 22-year-old strokeman. He's an experienced rower. He was at the World University Championships last year, 2014, which I think, if memory serves, Sean, took place on the Dunkirk course. And he's a very handy competitor.
Yes, and we see that the Proteus is about 14 pounds a man heavier. So they had a very good start. Now that both crews have settled down for the body of the race, and see how they handle it.
So we're looking at the Proteus-Eretus crew on the left from Holland, and they have a one-length lead over the boys from Oxford Brookes University in the burgundy colours, the burgundy tops. They had a crushing defeat there, top crew in a fantastic race again to another Dutch crew earlier in the Neerhouse University, shattered the record by 9 seconds in the Temple, and shattered the hearts of Oxford Brookes' top crew. Beat them by a canvas, Sean, and I mean, when have you heard a record being broken by 9 seconds at Henley?
Never. I think the last time a record was broken was that large. It was the high jump in the 1968 Olympics. And it stood for about 35 years.
Yeah, the long jump, Bob Beam.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're getting a look there at the Proteus-Eretus crew. We've mentioned already Robert van Houten, their stroke. And in that crew as well, the bowman, well, the camera's pulling out, but Jury de Vos, just 20 years old, the youngest man in the crew from the Delft University. A couple of years ago, he was rowing in the, well, he's closest to us. You can see the man now with the blue cap. He was rowing in the Junior World Championships in the Dutch 8, which finished 8th. So he's very competitive. And I think the boys from Oxford Brookes are just finding the class of the Dutch crew a little bit too much for them. But
it's surprising. Most of those Dutch crews this year seem to be just a step quicker than they have been in previous years.
Yeah, and what do you make? I think they're rowing very efficiently. They're not so aggressive on the front end as Oxford Brookes University. Their blades are still very well placed, particularly on the stroke side. That's the left-hand side. If you look at it, the Dutch crew with the white and orange blades, the orange very distinctive from the Dutch flag. But maybe they're just that bit more efficient on the front end, Sean.
I think they are, especially when you switch from an 8s to 4s. You really need to accelerate that oar handle into the body. You can afford to punch an 8 down the course, but in a long Cox 4 race, the Dutch seem to have a nice acceleration, a good placement of the oar, and a relaxing stroke down the course.
So the morning so far has belonged to the crews from 2 countries, if we can call Scotland a country. Fantastic performances from Glasgow High School and Edinburgh University, and amazing performances from the Dutch crews. The Neerhouse University crews both went through in the Prince Albert and the Temple, and it looks like the Proteus crew from Delft will just manage to hold off Oxford Brookes in this heat of the Prince Albert. Yes, they have a comfortable lead coming through. So the stroke man, Robert van Houten, winding the crew up to give them their full name: Delftsche, Studenten, Roeivereeniging, Proteus-Eretus, Netherlands. Cross the line ahead of Oxford Brookes, and arms aloft in the Dutch crew. Yet another success from them, and there's no stopping them. And Robert van Houten gives his congratulations to the Oxford Brookes crew, and we will head up to the start for a heat of the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup.